Just a little more background before we get into the next speaker. I touched on the fact that a student in the school who has regularly and consistently been identifying as the opposite birth sex, gender. That student, previous practice had been to use a single occupancy bathroom. And then pursuant to the passage of the bathroom bill in the state of New Hampshire, the parents approached the school and asked that that student then be able to use the bathroom to which the student is identifying. We consulted our attorneys, like I said. The bill, the law reads RSA 354A. The law injects into that the gender identity, and it protects against discrimination in public facilities, and that is basically the clause. I believe it's number 17 or 19. I apologize, I don't remember. Within the RSA, but it's pretty clear as a civil right. And you're right, this is not the place to litigate that. That's in Concord. We have advice from our attorney that we need to let this child use that bathroom. So what did we do? We decided to make available and make it clear to everyone that there are single occupancy bathrooms, multiple of which in each of our schools, and Mr. Butler identified them in the email. The idea being that if anyone who was uncomfortable with this has an opportunity to use a single occupancy bathroom. That, for right now, until we come up with a better answer, that was what we decided to do as a school board. So I hope that sheds a little light on the background of it. We're not, there's a lot more to go on this, but we have to craft our policy and get it finished and make further plans as a united board. So who else would like to address the gentleman in the green shirt? Again, please identify yourself with name and address for the record.
My name is Angelo Ferrugia. I live on Wild Acres. First off, I don't envy you guys at all in any way, shape, or form. I know you guys aren't the ones who are trying to do what's right, trying to decipher something. And it's not my problem. Any kid discriminated against for anything. You know, it's not acceptable. It's nothing that should happen. It's something that would track to you. But the big thing is a couple things. First off, when I look at this, the biggest thing that I heard that threw a red flag for me was you got a call from a parent on a Friday, had a meeting on a Monday, and then something was basically passed. What makes that, you know, and I'm not asking you guys, but, you know, just posting it out there. What makes that one parent, that one family more valuable than all of the other families? That their opinion or their perceived right is that important that it's rushed to, none of us are have any type of input on. And you guys trying to do your best, obviously, you know, crafted something. But really, there's so many moving parts to this, and there's so many things that we could all sit here and ask 10 questions and you're not going to have the answers to. And that's normal because you're trying to get it done. But really, it shouldn't be in effect until all those things are worked out and you can fine-tune it out. You know, when I sit there and I look at it, like I said, I don't have anything against any children, any race, anything. You know, it is what it is. And, you know, we all accept and we preach tolerance and so forth, but you do draw a line. So when you look at these anti-discrimination bills, you know, there's things such as age, sex, religion, race, disability. You know, all those things are included within that. This bill is so very loosely and vaguely written that it's supposed to leave the common sense to interpret. And I feel like we're just totally passing that by right now because it contradicts so many other things, you know, to what avail. So with that being said, that the sex that someone identifies as, well, my child's a female. I have 2 females. This is discrimination towards them. They don't want to go in the bathroom. You know, we have to open our minds. We can't just open it one way to meet one agenda and one cause.
Sure.
You know, you take a look at it and you look at the fact that, okay, disability. children with disabilities, maybe, you know, there's students in wheelchairs and so forth. Are we going to take this bill and go to the extreme and remove all monkey bars and everything that a disabled child can't do so that they don't feel left out? So that they don't feel discriminated against? No, we're not going to do that because we have common sense. We're going to aid them and we're going to provide for them the best way we can to not hinder their education. With that said, this is to do with education. There's nothing in there that going to use a single-user bathroom is limiting the education or discriminating against education. That's just, they're getting the same educational value and the same learning environment and everything else. Now, also too, when I read the email, and I'll be honest, I'm going to be outspoken, and I posted flat out on Facebook. I said, hey, here's the deal. I said, what's everyone's thoughts on, you know, 7-9? Good, bad, please, no hatred. I got 2 likes, no comments. I had over 50 PMs of people that had plenty of concerns, but said they didn't want to come to the school board. They didn't want to post it on the public board because they don't want to be seen as they're someone that hates, which is, we're fearing people into keeping their mouth shut. We're fearing people into change that really shouldn't happen. It's sad to me. It really is, because there's a lot more people with a lot of input on this that are too afraid to stand up. They're too afraid to stand up in a public forum. And essentially, they're being discriminated against. So we can't create inclusivity. We can't honor one person's alleged rights at the cost of another person's rights. That's something that's very prevalent. You know, it's very well said. And that's what we're doing here. We're taking away my childhood. And I'll give you an idea. My oldest daughter, you know, she has lots of anxieties too. Kids have anxieties about everything. Kids, you know, whether it's sometimes it's, oh my God, my shoes, I want my shoes. It's this, it's that. It could be minuscule to us, but it's mountainous to them. She has a, for whatever reason, fear, phobia of using the public restroom. Now, she will literally not go to school, not go to bathroom school all day sometimes because she has that phobia of other people. Is that something that we work on? Yes, it is. But now we're going to say, there's a little boy in the bathroom. She's not going to set foot in the bathroom. Now, also too, within that email, it said that there are single-user bathrooms. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 4 single-user bathrooms within the elementary school?
There's 5, so,
5.
yeah, and then there are 7 additional ones in classrooms.
So there are 5 that aren't in the classrooms?
Correct.
Okay. So the other thing that a lot of parents said to me last night were, they're flat out instructing their kids to use single-use bathrooms. So the wait times for these single-use bathrooms will be long. The ones within the classrooms, there's no privacy in there. So those kids are sacrificing their privacy. Now, we're aiming to include somebody. It's really, they're just ostracizing further. Like, so it's going to become like a dead zone that nobody's going to use the bathroom except for one person. So essentially, what's going to happen there? That's not inclusion, which is what we really want. We want these kids, no matter who it is, whatever sexual preference, we want a kid to go to school, worry about learning, not what bathroom they use, whether they're on one side or the other. And I feel like we're actually not really using our common sense and steering actually further away from what we're all intending to do, what we're all trying to decipher. That's a very vague law. And I feel like jumping on this to the full force that we have and having something in an email like that go out that says, hey, this is our policy, when honestly, I didn't expect you guys to have all the answers to the questions today. There hasn't been enough time in the day for you guys to sit down and figure out everything out in between. But that's something that really, I feel like this whole issue should be tabled until you guys have a definitive plan, until there is an answer to every question, every in, every out. It's just too much. You can't, like I said, looking at 9, you can look at 9 and it can infringe upon 2 other things within there. So you can't serve one purpose within the bill while shooting down 2 other purposes within the bill. It just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And I understand you guys are under severe public scrutiny. You know, I'm not here to villainize you guys. I don't envy you guys in any way. But I just wanted to let some things be heard.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brewer.
Thank you.
I'm not going to use a stopwatch or anything crazy like that, but if we could try to keep around 5 minutes per person so we can have a reasonable meeting tonight. We do have another public comment a little bit later tonight.
Croc TV.